Hey, what's up, Spencer? My name is everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a regular old reading vlog. I actually just got back from my grandfather's funeral in Rhode Island. I live here in Colorado and I decided to drive all the way to Rhode Island and back again. And I gotta tell you, there is nothing like spending a solid 30 hours in the car all by yourself doing basically nothing to make you appreciate doing literally anything else in your life. But obviously while I was on that drive, I listened to a lot of audiobooks and now I am kind of like really in the groove of reading. It kind of really put me into, I don't know what the opposite of a reading slump would be, where I really want to spend a lot of time reading and listening to audiobooks and doing all sorts of things. Which is great because while I was on my vacation, I guess you can call it. Not really, obviously, because like it was a funeral, but I did also have a nice time visiting friends and family there. I did acquire so much new media in general. I got at least like 24 new books. I acquired 30 new Xbox 360 games, a whole bunch of DVDs, my grandfather's vinyl records. I have at least 100 of them. So now I want to read all of these new things that I have acquired, but also I need to spend time making room for all of that stuff. My apartment needs to be rearranged a bit so I can try and fit in new bookshelves because I definitely need more room. Today, I'm probably going to be alternating back and forth between chilling because I'm super tired after driving 16 hours just yesterday. Like I literally drove from like 3 a.m. to 8 p.m. So I'm gonna spend some time relaxing, but then also cleaning because cleaning is relaxing for me and I like being able to do that while listening to my audiobooks. So yeah, I'm probably gonna be bouncing back and forth between those things today. So yeah, that's the plan, and I guess I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. Wow, I didn't even bother to like talk about what I'm reading right now. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. So what I'm going to be focusing on is Silver Under Nightfall by Rin Chipeco. This is a reread for me. I got the sequel from the library, which is why I'm rereading it. This is a book about a vampire hunter who gets into a polyamorous relationship with a vampire couple. And there's also a lot of like vampire politics and stuff like that. It's very interesting, very good, and I'm excited to see the second half of it. Sticking with the vampire theme, I am also reading Dracula by Bram Stoker. This is written in like diary form in case you haven't like read this before. So I'm doing the thing where I'm trying to read the diary entries that coincide with each day because it starts in May. So at the beginning of May, I started reading this, and seeing as today is May 30th, I have to read the diary entries for May 29th, May 28th, May 29th, and May 30th. Yeah, trying to like go through and read it like this, which is going to be interesting because I think that there's like a 6-month gap between when Jonathan Harker's diary ends and Mina's begins. So I guess I'm gonna read half of this and then take a 6-month break from it before I finish it. And for audiobooks, I'm going to be listening to Sharp's Triumph. This is the second book in a series about a guy who fights in a lot of historical battles in the late 1700s and early 1800s. So yeah, now I will check in with you guys later. Good morning. So last night I was woken up in the middle of the night by this crazy sound. It sounded like there was like this hammering on my roof, and when I opened up my front door, there was this crazy hailstorm going on outside. It was really intense. The hail was like the size of ping pong balls. I kind of felt bad because my apartment complex literally just put out these flowers yesterday that the hail like basically destroyed them. I went and checked on my car and there are some dents in my car. They're not really noticeable unless you're like looking for them, but my car definitely was kind of damaged by the hail last night. Crazy that happened. It's almost June. We're almost in summer, and yet we had this freak hailstorm. I guess that's what you get from living in Colorado. All right, so reading update. I am about 100 pages into Silver Under Nightfall. I totally forgot that a part of the plot for this is that there is like an infection going around that is mutating newly turned vampires and turning them into these kind of like macabre, disgusting beings where they have like mouths growing out of their chests and 3 heads and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, I'm really loving this book again. I also got about a quarter of the way through Sharp's Triumph. The premise for this book is that he has survived a massacre, and he is the only person who has survived this massacre, and now he is trying to hunt down the man who headed the cavalry that like killed all of his comrades and like the little boy that he had kind of adopted and stuff like that. So this is a revenge story. And then also today I really want to read Is Love the Answer by Uta Isaki. Today is the last day of Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, meaning it's the last day of the Asian Readathon, and this was one of the books that I had on my Asian Readathon TBR, so I would love to be able to get this out of the way. So that's what's going on for now, and I'll check in with you guys in a little while. Alright, so I bought a new bookcase, and my current plan right now is that everything has to move to the right. So my bed is going to go there, my desk is going to go there, and then my bookshelves are going to go here. And I have another shelf that is going to be joining the ones that I have. This little shelf is going to go into my living room and become my new TBR shelf, and then this anime shelf is going to be expanded into a full-on bookcase, just like these two, which is why I bought another one today. So, right now, I have to work on moving everything to the right. Alright, so I have moved everything around, and I really like it. This is actually the way that I had originally thought of setting up this room, but I hadn't because the heat radiator is back there, and now my bed is blocking it, which is okay for right now because it's the summertime. I don't need the heat, but I think in the winter, all I'll really need to do is pull the bed out a little bit and then maybe put a fan here to help circulate that hot air that would be coming out. Right now, me and my friend are actually on our way to go and see Challengers, the movie with Zendaya, where she gets into a relationship with 2 guys, and it's supposed to be really tense and kind of toxic and really intriguing. And I guess they also play tennis, but like, who cares about that shit? I have been wanting to see this movie so bad, and I am so excited to go. My apartment is a mess because there are books everywhere, but this is what we're doing right now. Hi, Lila. So it is now several days later, and I have finally finished rearranging and organizing everything. I've put away everything for my series and my manga shelf. I have completely rearranged my TBR shelf. I have organized everything for all the DVDs and Xbox games that I got. I haven't really been able to get a lot of reading done. I am in the same exact place for Silver Under Nightfall I was never able to get to. Is Love the Answer? But I was able to finish Sharp's Triumph, and I'm gonna be giving this book 2.5 stars. Not really a lot happened in this book. Like, I can't really tell you anything that happened plot-wise for this. There was a really big battle at the end, but the first, like, 2/3 of it wasn't really much of anything. Sharp survived this massacre, like, right at the beginning, and then it was super boring for a long time, and then there was a really long battle at the end, and that's kind of it. So yeah, 2.5 stars. Now, let's talk about Challengers, because like I said in my last clip, I went to go and see Challengers, which is the latest Zendaya film. This is probably going to be the last part of this video, so if you don't want to listen to my review of Challengers because you still want to see the movie or you just don't care, like, that's totally fine. I get it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope to see you in the next one. And for those of you who are interested, I would have to say that this movie was very disappointing for me. They really advertised the film as being a poly film, but once I actually watched it, I realized that's not at all what this is. Based on the trailer, I thought that this was going to be a movie about Zendaya being like a top tennis star, and then she gets an injury, and that leads to her being pursued by these two other male tennis stars who want to be coached by her because she's so good, and because they're both competing for her on the court and for her affection and stuff like that, then they end up getting into this whole three-way relationship where she's playing them both on and off the court. In reality, this is a movie in which Zendaya is a top tennis star, and these two guys are both interested in her, and she dates one of them for a little while, and then she dates the other one for a little while, and that's it. I didn't really like this movie at all, and it's not because it's a bad movie. Like, there was definitely a lot of things about it that I really did like, but at the same time, this is boring. This is something that I've seen plenty of times before. I was so excited going into it because I thought that finally we were gonna have something new and fresh. You know, we don't really see any sort of polyamory representation at all, so I thought that that's what we were going to get, but instead we just had a regular love corner type thing going on, which is like every single romance movie out there. So I ended up getting super bored and not giving a shit at all, because I got to a point where I realized, like, oh, they're never going to become like an actual poly couple. So like, what is the point of this? Why am I watching this? This is just normal, like, straight het stuff. And it seems like there's so much misconception about what this movie is, because like so many people are saying that like this is the horniest movie ever, and like this movie is basically softcore porn, but it's not. There isn't any sex scenes at all. The most intimate thing that happens is that three-way makeout scene, and then they don't even have like sex after that. Zendaya literally leaves right after she gets these two guys to make out. So there was nothing about this film really to make me be like, wow, like that was so great, that was so compelling. Like, no, it was just two guys fighting over a girl, which, like, how many times have we seen that? It's Twilight shit all over again. I don't care. I was so ready for like a scene in which Zendaya is standing there like on the side of the court watching them like hit the ball back and forth, and then it cuts to a scene of them like fucking in bed, and like the sounds of their like on court like hitting the ball sex noises like flows into their in bed sex noises, and the whole time like Zendaya is there watching them, and she's doing all of these things to like play them and get them to do all these different things. That didn't really happen. It was just a lot of tennis. So yeah, If you wanted to see challengers for a poly romance like I had, then you're really gonna be disappointed because that's not what this film is at all, even though that's what they advertised it to be. So yeah, that's kind of it. I think that I'm gonna end this vlog here because I would like to move on to another one. So if you've stuck around for this whole video, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this. But besides that, make sure you stay safe and have a fantastic day. Bye.